After last night's press conference where the government announced new, simplified and standardised COVID rules. Let's take a look. Thank the Lord that the government has finally simplified and standardised those COVID rules. Now, it's a very simple three-tier rule of 6 closed by 10 whack-a-mole hands, face, space approach. And it's a three-tier rule of 6 closed by 10 whack-a-mole hands, face, space approach that our chief medical officer says definitely won't work. And he says that no one has confidence in the Prime Minister's new plan. So, at the same press conference where they announced their new plan, they also announced that their new plan won't work. We are through the fucking looking glass now, aren't we? 8 months of this shit we've endured for nothing. 8 months of job uncertainty and going fucking mental staring at your four walls. 8 months of wishing your loved ones were, somewhere else. 8 months of the NHS being pushed to breaking point after 10 years of the government pushing the NHS to breaking point. 8 months of death. Lots of death. Not just old farts that were on their way out anyway. Death. This latest set of back-of-the-fag packet rules, isn't the government remaining fluid and adaptable to an ongoing and developing crisis. This is the government failing. On all counts, the dashboard of the passenger jet is flashing. This plane is going down. And of course it's going down because Boris is the one flying it. These are the guys that only took 5 months to agree that face masks, might be useful. Their world-beating test and trace system consists of writing your email down on a piece of paper before buying a pint. The same people who introduced a 10 p.m. curfew whereby anyone sat at a table of up to 6 people are then thrown out into the streets with 1,000 other people all wrestling to get the same fucking night bus home. Hardly a surprise, is it, that we have one of the worst death rates in the world, with more people in hospital with COVID than ever before, and 14,000 new cases every day, 43,000 deaths so far. This government has failed us all. But at least economically, we all know where we stand. And according to today's unemployment figures, where most of us stand is in a queue for the job centre. It's only been a few weeks since head boy and library monitor Rishi Sunak announced that it was time to live without fear, and then unveiled his winter economy plan, which is, to quote the Chancellor, a winter of business failures and job losses. Once again, whilst announcing a plan, they announced that the plan won't work. A theme is emerging. I think it's all that fucking hair gel affecting his brain, because you can't not live in fear when you can't feed your kids. The Chancellor's job support scheme is only for people in viable jobs. Surely that's the point, you entitled horse-faced prick. These jobs were viable before COVID hit. These are exactly the jobs you need to be saving. Essentially, he's saying, I've done the maths, and it's cheaper to have 3, 4, 5 million people unemployed by Easter than it is to help them keep their jobs. It's cheaper to just stand back and watch the entire hospitality industry, creative and entertainment industries, tourist industry, cab firms, recruitment firms, retail, freelancers and zero-hour workers working in a gig economy that this government has nurtured. It's cheaper to watch them go to the wall than it is to help them out. Vast swathes of the UK's workforce are no longer viable and will now have to rely on universal credit, which, as we all know, is a wonderful and compassionate system whereby people with terminal illnesses are forced to go and stack shelves at Tesco. Millions consigned to an endless bureaucratic job queue where an online calculator tells you you're eligible for government assistance, amounting to £43 a week, which doesn't cover your fucking bus fare to the job centre. Millions told that they are no longer useful to this economy, that their career choices are wrong, and that it's time to retrain. Retrain presumably for one of only 2 viable jobs left, working for either Amazon or Deliveroo. Or why not volunteer at a food bank where demand is high and you get paid in potatoes? This plane is going down. Brace for impact. The government has come under furious criticism today as it was revealed that they were told by advisors to introduce stricter measures.